Hello, kamusta, konnichiwa, bonjour, and namaste to all viewers. This is Kyle Brian Nolasco from 8B, and today I'll be talking about my handmade decision-making wheel project. What is the decision-making wheel? Technically, a wheel that will have and hold a few options for your problem. In my project, there will be 8 options, which include choices, as in, from the choices, it is this, and then consequences, the values, the feelings, more info, who can help, and decisions. So, but there could possibly be 100 options. Well, let's get to the point. Making decisions are one of the really important things we must make and take in our lives. Since making decisions are one of the reasons to moving to success, after all, there are always problems in life to overcome. In my example, a date with someone. Not you, but your friend, and he or she is trying to at least have a good time. Continuing on with the problem, your friend asks you a favor to choose the best place to have for a date. Now, this is where the decision making comes in handy. You already know the options. Okay, I'm just gonna take one spin. So, starter is need and trust information. More info. Well, when it comes to needing and trusting info, it's all about information. But you must know the starters first. What is a date? Well, of course, all of those romantic stuff and all that has something to do with a date. Also, like hanging up with your girlfriend or boyfriend, not in a awkward way. And then yeah, again, needing and trusting info could be a good thing, but sometimes it's not. After all, information is not always reliable. But other things about it, it's that you must have some information about something, at least like a place. For example, you're going to a movie theater, and it's all about romance, or on the other hand, it could be a carnival or an amusement park where you try riding the best rides. It's all about experience in the end after that. Okay, so we got this option covered, but it takes more than just one spin to move towards success. After all, there are aspects that can affect the decisions positively and negatively. How can we prove it? It takes another spin. Wait, sorry about that. Let me try again. Okay, it just doesn't work so well. And, okay, trust deep feelings. Technically, feelings. When it comes to trusting deep feelings, it's technically all about emotion of others. It can be you, it can be others, it can be his or her date. So yeah. Although, there is something called a gut feeling. I bet you know what it is. The gut feeling is your deepest, innermost feeling about anything. Well, for this, feelings are an important key to everything. It's all about emotion, especially when it comes to romance. Now, for example, like your friend, he feels like he's not ready for this, but that's okay. You got him. You're by his side. And then the other thing is that his or her date, well, feels excited about this, but has no experience whatsoever about a date. Well, that's okay. You just have to trust feelings. Sometimes trusting feelings could be a bad thing, like they could be lying to you. Could happen, could happen. And another thing that could be bad about a date bad about feelings, is that they don't always go so well. Sometimes your feelings will lead to other bad things. But other good things about it, the good thing about it is that you're trusting yourself and other people. Trust is an important thing as well, after all. Again, you covered another option for this, but you could always go again just in case. It's hard to get perfectly in line, which can be frustrating, but mistakes are an important teacher for you in life, since they teach you what has been done wrong. What can you do to make things better, and so on. Oh yeah, almost forgot. One bonus. Just give me a second. Okay, now, I'm not gonna leave you here hanging or anything. Now, the bonus about this is that it's a convertible. Oh, oops, did I spoil it? No, not yet. Now, continuing on to the problem. It's hard to make decisions by yourself, so there are times when you need something to help out. Example, the decision making wheel. But it's not always going to be a wheel in this job. Now, you might already have guessed what it is, fellows. And here's the bonus. A chip chop. Just a regular chip chop. Okay, maybe not regular. Well, now, like I was saying about the chip chop. Oh gosh, the chip chop. Chip chop works almost like a wheel as well. A convertible wheel to a chip chop, after all. The chip chop works in a similar way, like I was saying, and it's an easy to build convertible. So I'm just gonna choose another option. One more time, but this time with a chip chop. Okay, so for instance, I might choose number 6, I guess. Unique problem rare issue. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, what would you have chose? Maybe you might have chose careful and cautious. So that might be number 2. 1, 2. Oh, same thing, right? And then last but not least, anything left behind. But this time, you get to choose 2 options. Anything left behind, along with careful and cautious. So for this, you might choose values and consequences. Oh, okay, I chose 2 options. I didn't notice. This wasn't part of the plan, but oh well. Now, when it comes to consequences, it's all about the negative side. Technically, you have to understand that. After all, every action has a consequence. And sometimes these mistakes can do a chain reaction, but not all consequences are bad. After all, they might benefit you in some way. It just needs a bit of realization to it. Well, consequences happen. It can always happen, anytime, anywhere, and so on. But when it comes to values, it has to be, well, you need to know if everything you've done, everything you've worked for is worth it. Even what you have to skip out was worth it. Don't worry, that won't be a problem. No, actually, honestly, sometimes there will be problems. Now, the values are the important thing behind everything. Values, was it worth it to do this? Well, at least one, in any way, out of a million possibilities. And going back to consequences, let's give an example for consequences. For example, the price, how expensive this could be to the movie or so. And then, yeah, that's a consequence. You have to pay so much just for a movie, just for your date. I mean, just for your friend's date. And then, yeah, it goes on like that. But you have to accept it. There'll be a reason why for it. And then, for values, I'll give one example. Example? Well, you had homework. Classic. You had homework, but you had to sacrifice it for your friend's date. Will it be worth it? Unfortunately, it might not. But there's mistake. But after all, mistakes always happen in any way. You have to recognize, you have to at least recognize the value so you can learn something. And then, okay. These options have now been covered, so now you're at the path to success. Let things go to its course. Although we could make our decision-making power even more greater. Tolerance can be helpful, for instance. Tolerance has a lot to do with patience and acceptance. And how could it have helped in this issue? Well, be patient for the right time to come if it's your faith, if it's your friend's faith. For example, your date, as you know, your friend's date. Now, instead of your friend just asking her or him, what if his date or her date asks him or her to have a date with, them? It's the power of waiting, so you just have to be patient. So that's tolerance. Or accept the consequences. See what I mean? To your actions. Again, tolerance. After all consequences have actions, but you gotta accept it. It's okay to accept the consequence. Even though it may seem like a dire situation, just accept it. But there's always a way to solve a problem. In conclusion, you can make life easy with the decision-making wheel. Make life better. But there are still more to life. There is always a solution to a problem. Thank you, everyone. Ending video.